born in freedom, peace and unity. The second stanza of open prayer. O God of creation, direct our noble cause. Guide thou on labor's right, help the youth the truth to know. In love and honesty, to grow and living just and true. Great lofty heights attain, to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. Thank you all. God bless you as we receive. May I graciously request the honor of the special advisor, Mr. Economic Finance and Budget, Mr. Olale Kombalogun, to please give the welcome address. Sir.
Honorable Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget, Mr. Okwe George, the Permanent Secretary for Economic Planning and Budget, Mr. Ibrahim Obajomo, our royal fathers here present, Alailua of the Battery Show, and they are of Lagos, who is very much represented by our highly revered and honored white cap chiefs. Here present Chief Kolawole Daudu, the Executive Chairman of Yaba LCDA, represented by the head of the Department of Budgets, Okubambi Ismail, the Managing Director of Lagos State Waste Management Authority, Dr. Mayor Dictation, the co-founder of Lagos Connect, the Wilson Koti, the Chairman of Lagos State Council for Tradesmen and Artisans, the Chief Lord Bali, the Civil Society Participation for Development, in Africa, because of the fourth. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the 5th Budget Consultative Forum. This forum has always played responsibility to reach out to the 5 divisions of Lagos State, so that inputs from all stakeholders are taken into cognizance in the state's budget preparation process to ensure transparency and acceptability of the budget. The year 2024 budget is geared towards the development of the state and its residents through the provision of improved welfare packages that will be commensurate to the present economic landscape, which focus on adequate and proper distribution of wealth, critical infrastructure development of each nation. Living in fulfillment of the electoral promise of all-inclusive governance by Mr. Governor Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu at his inaugural speech for the second term of this administration, he emphatically stated that we will work relentlessly to make Lagos a state where economic opportunities abound, where our infrastructure is robust and resilient, where the rule of law prevails, but our vision for Lagos goes beyond our physical infrastructure and economic indicators. Our vision is for Lagos Our vision is for a Lagos that is a beacon of cultural vibrancy, intellectual prowess, and humanistic values. A Lagos that not only drives the economic engine of Nigeria, but also enriches the soul of the nation. In achieving this, the themes, which stands for transportation and traffic management, health and environment, education and technology, making Lagos a 21st century economy, entertainment and tourism, security and governance, will henceforth be known as Themes Plus. The plus representing the incorporation of an intensified effort and focus of the administration in these next 4 years on social inclusion, gender equality, and youth engagement, while strengthening our resolve on all-inclusive governance and reinforcing it with a no one will be left behind philosophy, and either on account of their social status, gender, or age. This administration will focus on policies and programs that will ensure that everyone is carried along and catered for. Thus, the main reason why the state has always adhered to proper consultation and due diligence, especially in decision-making processes, while also creating an avenue to update stakeholders on the half-year performance of the budget. These resources are available for the annual budget, taking into cognizance all economic variables such as the price of oil, interest rates, inflation of the economy, and much more. More importantly, this forum provides us with an ample opportunity to share ideas geared towards a greater Lagos, while rubbing minds with you, the citizens, in order to ensure that your desired interests are captured in the budget as resources available permits. Our expectation of this forum is the significant participation in the budget preparation process by organizational bodies and persons here present. The audience has been drawn from traditional and community leaders, religious leaders, professionals, trade groups, NGOs, youth organizations, and persons living with disability, and also the organized private sector, in order to engender confidence and buy-in towards the development objectives of this administration. The success of this administration rests on the cooperation of all and sundry, while also assuring you that the concerted efforts will be made annually to improve our tax revenues in order to meet the citizens' expectations and improving overall service delivery of agencies of government. While I seize this opportunity to appeal to everyone to fulfill their civic responsibilities through regular payment of taxes, obey traffic rules, be it environmentally friendly, and above all, security conscious. Suffice to say, at this juncture, divisions will be expected to present programs and projects that are beneficial to the people and of utmost importance towards improving the socio-economic well-being, wealth, and critical development of each division. Your Royal Highnesses, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we are of the view that the success of this administration rests on the collaboration of all. Let me, on behalf of the Lagos State Government, the Honorable Commissioner, the Permanent Secretary, Management and staff of the Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget, welcome you all to an all-inclusive Budget Consultative Forum, and wish us all successful deliberations. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you so very much, the Special Advisor. Well, like we always do, once we say this, we always want to interpret. And it is my honor to welcome my colleague here who will be translating back to us in Yoruba language what has just been said by the SA. But let me respectfully quickly recognize Mrs. Olunuga Tuminino, Head of Budget, representing the Chairman Akpapa Local Government Council, Honorable Shebanjo Olajumo Keidu. We want to thank you, Mr. Chairman, for your honor. Sister, good morning.
Mo kí gbogbo ilé o. Èyí ni ọ̀rọ̀ kíní káàbọ̀ olùgbanilámọ̀ràn pàtàkì fún gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó lẹ́ka ètò ọrọ̀ ajé àti ìṣúná Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Ọlálékan Hafiz Balógun níbi ìpàdé ìfikùnlukùn lórí ìpalẹ̀mọ́ ètò ìṣúná ẹgbàá ọdún ó lé mẹ́rìnlélógún tó ń bọ̀, èyí tó ń wáyé lónìí ọjọ́rú 20 oṣù kẹsàn-án ọdún yìí lẹ́kùn erékùṣù Èkó. Olùgbanilámọ̀ràn pàtàkì fún gómìnà kí gbogbo wa, ní pàtàkì jùlọ kọmíṣánná wa, akọ̀wé àgbà, ẹ̀yin ọba aláyélúwà tẹ́gún wà síkàlẹ̀, ẹ̀yin baálẹ̀ ọkọ̀ ìlú, ẹ̀yin lọ́gàálọ́gàá lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ ọba, ẹ̀yin oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́ àti oníṣòwò, ẹ̀yin oníṣẹ́ àdáni, ẹgbẹ́ ọ̀dọ́, ẹ̀yin tó ń kojú ìpèníjà ẹ̀yà ara àti gbogbo ilé lápapọ̀ káàbọ̀ síbi ìpàdé àgbérò fún ìpalẹ̀mọ́ ọdún tó ń bọ̀ ẹlẹ́ẹ̀karùn-ún irú rẹ̀ tí ìṣàkóso ìjọba tó wà lórí àlééfà báyìí ṣàgbékalẹ̀ rẹ̀, tí ẹ̀ka iléeṣẹ́ ọba tó ń rí sí ètò ọrọ̀ ajé àti ìṣúná nípìnlẹ̀ Èkó sì jẹ́ agbátẹrù ètò náà. Wọ́n ní ètò yìí jẹ́ àlàkalẹ̀ tí ó fìdí ojúṣe ìjọba múlẹ̀ láti fi kàn sí tonílé tẹlẹ́mù láwọn ẹkùn márààrún tí ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó pín sí, kí ẹ̀yin alẹ́nulọ́rọ̀ bá lè ní àǹfààní láti kópa nínú ètò ìṣúná gbangba làṣántà èyí tí kò ní ẹja ń bá kàn nínú tí yóò sì jẹ́ ìtẹ́wọ́gbà. Wọ́n ṣàlàyé pé ètò ìṣúná ọdún tó ń bọ̀ yìí jẹ́ èyí tí a fi orí rẹ̀ sọ ìdàgbàsókè ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó àti àwọn olùgbé rẹ̀ nípasẹ̀ pípèsè àwọn ohun èlò iléeṣẹ́wọ̀gbẹ́ tí yóò bá ìlànà ètò ọrọ̀ ajé àsìkò yìí mu, èyí tí yóò dá lórí pín ire láre, ọláńlá àti ìdàgbàsókè àwọn ohun amáyédẹrùn lọ́kọ̀ọ̀kan àwọn ẹkùn tí ó wà fún ìgbé ayé ìrọ̀rùn. Wọ́n ní ètò yìí jẹ́ ìmúṣẹ ìlérí ìṣàkóso ìjọba alájùmọ̀ṣe tí gómìnà Babájídé Sanwó-Olú ṣe níbẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀pẹ̀ sáà kejì ìṣàkóso ìjọba rẹ̀, níbi tí ó ti fọwọ́ akin gbáyà pé àwọn yóò ṣe iṣẹ́ takuntakun láti jẹ́ kí ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó tayọ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìpínlẹ̀ kan gbòógì tí ìbọ̀wọ̀ fún òfin ti rí ìdíjókòó àti èyí tí ètò ọrọ̀ ajé rẹ̀ gbóúnjẹ fẹ́gbẹ́ tó sì tún gbà wọ́bọ̀ lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà lápapọ̀. Wọ́n ṣàlàyé síwájú sí pé àwọn òpó atọ́nà ìdàgbàsókè èyí tí ìṣàkóso tó wà lórí àlééfà báyìí yàn láàyò tí a mọ̀ sí TIMS ló túmọ̀ sí ètò ìrìnnà àti ìgbòkègbodò ọkọ̀, ètò ìlera àti àyíká tó wuyì, ètò ẹ̀kọ́ àti ìmọ̀ ẹ̀rọ ìgbàlódé, sísọ ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó di àwùjọ àpèwáwò lágbàáyé, ètò ìdárayá àti ìṣe ìjọba. Wọ́n ní ó tún fi ṣàfikún rẹ̀ pé ìkópa ará ìlú, ìfẹ̀gbẹ́kẹ̀gbẹ́ takọtabo àti ṣíṣe àmúlò àwọn ọ̀dọ́. Wọ́n ní ètò ìṣàkóso ìjọba gbé kájọgbé yìí kò ní yọ ẹnikẹ́ni sílẹ̀ yálà nípasẹ̀ ipò àwùjọ, akọ̀ǹbábo tàbí ọjọ́ orí. Wọ́n ṣàlàyé pé ìdí rẹ̀ tí ìjọba fi ń kàn sí ẹ̀yin ará ìlú kí wọ́n tó gbé ìgbésẹ̀ kankan nìyẹn, ní pàtàkì jùlọ láti fi tó ẹ̀yin alẹ́nulọ́rọ̀ létí bí ìmúṣiṣẹ́ ètò ìṣúná ìdajì ọdún ṣe lọ sí, bí omi ṣe pọ̀ tó lámù ìjọba fún ìṣúná ọlọ́dọọdún pẹ̀lú àfojúsùn àwọn kọ́kọ́rọ́ ètò ọrọ̀ ajé bíi owó epo, èlé orí owó, ọ̀wọ́n gógó ọjà àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ní pàtàkì jùlọ, ètò àpérò yìí pèsè àǹfààní láti fojú rinjú fikùnlukùn pẹ̀lú ẹ̀yin ará ìlú láti lè jẹ́ kí àwọn ohun tí ẹ fẹ́ jẹyọ nínú ètò ìṣúná gẹ́gẹ́ bí ipá ìjọba bá ṣe ká wọn sí. Wọ́n tẹ̀síwájú pé ètò yìí jẹ́ ti igba ẹkẹ́ tí ń fọwọ́ ti lé àti ti igba aláàmù tí ń fọwọ́ ti ògiri. Èyí ló ṣokùnfà bí a ṣe ṣe ní ojútáyé, bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ọ̀dọ̀ ẹ̀yin aláyélúwà ọba aládé wa gbogbo, ẹ̀yin baálẹ̀ ọkọ̀ ìlú, ẹ̀yin olórí ẹlẹ́sìn gbogbo, ẹ̀yin ọlọ́jà, ẹgbẹ́ oníṣẹ́ ọwọ́, ẹgbẹ́ oníṣòwò, ẹgbẹ́ ọ̀dọ́, ẹgbẹ́ àwọn tó ní ìpèníjà ẹ̀yà ara, ẹgbẹ́ àdáni àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Nítorí àṣeyọrí ìṣàkóso ìjọba yìí nílò ìfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ gbogbo wa. Wọ́n ṣèlérí pé àtúnṣe yóò bá ìlànà ètò ìpawówọlé sápò ìjọba lọ́dọọdún kí ìjọba bá lè túbọ̀ dáńgájíá nínú ojúṣe rẹ̀ sí àwọn ará ìlú. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Balógun kò ṣàìrán wa létí òwe àwọn baba ńlá wa tó sọ pé ọbẹ̀ tó dùn owó ló pa á, àti pé ẹnu òfo kì í dún yànmùyànmù kí òwe máa jẹ́ ti ẹ̀yin àgbà. Èyí ni wọ́n fi gbà wá lámọ̀ràn láti máa san owó orí wa déédéé sápò ìjọba. Bákan náà, wọ́n tún rọ̀ wá láti máa bọ̀wọ̀ fún òfin ìrìnnà ọkọ̀, àlàáfíà àti ìbádọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ àyíká wa, àti ní pàtàkì jùlọ ká má ṣe fi ọwọ́ yẹpẹrẹ mú ètò ààbò wa, nítorí ojú ni alákàn fi ń ṣọ́rí àti pé tójú tìyẹ́ ni àparò fi ń ríran. Lákòótán, olùgbanilámọ̀ràn pàtàkì gómìnà kí gbogbo wa káàbọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan síbi ìpàdé àpérò ògbé kájọgbé yìí lórúkọ ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, kọmíṣánná, akọ̀wé àgbà, àwọn alákòóso àti gbogbo àwọn òṣìṣẹ́ lẹ́ka iléeṣẹ́ ọba tó ń rí sí ètò ọrọ̀ ajé àti ìṣúná nípínlẹ̀ Èkó pé a kú àpérò o, a dúpẹ́ pé ẹ jẹ́ wa, ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó àjùmọ̀ṣe gbogbo wa ni. Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀.
Thank you so much, my sister. Please, can we appreciate her one more time, please? Mufia Wiki Alailua Oba Mohammed Musliu Adio Yusuf, the Onishu of Abagbo and Tomorrowland Kabiasu, we appreciate your presence. You're most welcome. Well, distinguished guests, we also quickly must recognize the Lagos State Barbers Chief Olabisi Francis Olom of Lascota to Lucia Korini. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, before I bring in the Honorable Commissioner, the Commissioner works as a team, and the Honorable Commissioner is a team player, is a man with wealth of experience from a very wide spectrum of committed service to the fatherland. But he's always working with this team that we think that you should also know them before he steps in to give this keynote point. I have as the Director of Planning, Economic Planning, Mr. Banjo Bushola. We want to thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much, Mr. Banjo Bushola. Mr. Bashir Tayo Senyukwe, Director of Lagos Bureau of Statistics, you are also welcome. And Mr. Handu Bimbo, Director of Finance and Account, well, thank you very much, sir. Mr. Fuad Oide, Director of Project Monitoring and Evaluation, thank you. And Mrs. Mujisola Fashola, Director of Human Resources and Administration, thank you very much. Mr. Emmanuel Remolagide, Director of Budget, well, thank you very much. And of course, Mrs. Kemi Adidiji, she's not here, I've not seen her. Mrs. Yinka Ojo, is she here? No, she's not today. And Mr. Bolaji Onimole, Director of Development Partnership, we also want to thank you. Mr. Sunday Aditunji, Director of Planning, we thank you. And Mrs. Adiola Badamoshi, Director of Information and Communication Technology, you're there, thank you very much. Mr. Sadiq Adewale, Director of Procurement, we thank you very much, sir. Mrs. Modupe Kara, Director of Audits, we want to thank you. And Director of Public Affairs, Mr. Sikiru Ulishesias, we want to thank you. Let me here and now welcome, to the glory of God and service to humanity, the honor of having yet another vibrant intellectual, competent, capable to so direct the affairs of the Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget. Please let's welcome Mr. Okwejo, sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Our Royal Fathers, please allow me to stand on existing protocols because of time, but to say very thank you and good morning to our Royal Fathers here. Oba of Lagos, who is here, ably represented by the White Cap Chiefs. Thank you very much, our fathers. We appreciate it. Thank you for all your support, as always. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So, I'll quickly, the plan is just to take you through a presentation, and then after the presentation, obviously, it's a consultative forum. So, to hear back from you, we need to understand what it is we want as a people, what you want us to do for you. There's no point us just sitting in the office and trying to budget and budgeting the wrong thing. So this is a forum that we've gone through various areas. So this is the third in the series. We started in Ikeja. Yesterday we did the Badagry, we did it at Lasso. Today we're here on the island to hear from you. So I implore you to please be as interactive as possible when we get into the breakout session so we can know what it is we want to do and go back. We have some of our heads of our agencies here who will be able to sort of help us as well and give us a bit more specifics to specific projects. So we'll quickly go through the presentation and then we'll take your comments. Thank you. So thank you. So the presentation, we don't want to make it as we want to make it as quick as possible and as painless as possible, because I said the idea is to sort of get to hear from you. So we've broken it down to 7 parts. We'll just give you a quick quick aim and objectives. We'll give you some key highlights of the year's budget performance for 2023. We'll look at some economic outlooks for Nigeria and Lagos as well. We'll look at the indicative 2024 MTBF, which is what we're planning for, which is what we're getting information for from these sessions. We'll look at the focus areas for the rest of 2023, where we are now, since we're currently going through a mid-year review. And we'll look at the priority areas for 2024 budget. And then we'll conclude showing you some projects that we've done within the area. So just as a brief introduction, as I said, you know, we're now here because we're trying to sort of commence a new budgeting cycle. So for us, we want to be able to hear from our citizens to understand what it is we need to put into the budget going forward for 2024. So that's just basically what it is, what we're trying to achieve here. And as I said, we've had this discussion in various divisions of the state. So we'll just quickly move on to some stats about Lagos and where we are. So, you know, as we all know, Lagos is a huge city. A population of over 28 million people. We have a growth rate of about 2.55%. We get compared in Lagos to countries, so we get compared to Egypt, to Rwanda, to countries that are all nationals. We're a sub-national, so at times I always say that for us in Lagos, we're hampered by our success, but we're not complaining. So we're going to ensure that we try and give as much as we can. I mean, I'm happy the MD of Loma is here. He'll tell you, I think he handles about 14,000 metric tons of waste a day. So I don't know how he manages to do it, but it is what it is. That's what we are. I've seen some statistics that say about, 80 people or so that come into Lagos every day. Those 80 people come in, they don't go anywhere. So, you know, they stay here. So per hour, so by the end of the day, we have over 1,000, maybe 1,920 people who are coming and staying to Lagos, and they're not going anywhere. So we have to cater for these people. We have to ensure that, you know, you don't need a visa to come into Lagos. So, you know, everyone comes into Lagos, everyone is a citizen of Lagos. We need to make sure that we can cater for them and make sure the city is resilient enough to sort of withstand all it is we need to do. So just some stats on Lagos, which we have, which we can provide if you want to sort of look at it. And then, as I said, you know, infrastructure is key. We have a huge pressure on our infrastructure with Lagos. We can't, as much as we want to build all the roads, we can't build ourselves out of the congestion in Lagos. I always say that we can't build enough roads to sort of satisfy. You know, we need to sort of make sure we have an intermodal transport system, which we're doing. So you'd see that we've invested heavily in the waterways. We have a functioning, finally functioning rail system now, which we've just launched. The blue line is working. The red line is coming on stream later this year. We have other rail lines which we're currently going through the process of starting. So for us, you know, for a city like Lagos, you know, we need to ensure that we have a fully functioning intermodal transport system, and infrastructure is key. We're currently in the process of trying to sort of start the construction of the 4th mainland bridge, which has taken a while for us to get going, but we're happy to say that we're there now, we're starting that. So, as I said, you know, there's a lot of pressure on infrastructure, but it's something we need to do, and we need to ensure that as a city we continue to grow and build. So, the journey so far, you know, these forums didn't just start, they've been going on over the last couple of years. So, over the time, we ensure that as far back as 2021, 2020, we ensure that we look at our budgets, and each year we sort of look at what we've done. We look at the learning points. We also look at how we can sort of build better, and then we track ourselves. So we don't just come to these forums and we're not held accountable as to what. So you'd see that some of the things you'd asked for in the last year, we've done. We may not have completed everything, but we have started. And then where we've not completed, we can now say to you, these are the issues, these are the challenges, this is what has happened, and we can sort of give account of where we are. So basically, this just shows you the journey so far to ensure that over the last couple of years, we've tried as much as possible to, obviously, no one envisaged COVID, you know, and all the other downturns we've had in the economy. But then, having said so, we've maintained a strong pandemic response. Food security is very key for us, which is why you'd find that in some of the projects we're doing, we're currently also creating a food and logistics hub where we've decided to watch out and understand that we need to be able to feed ourselves as a nation. So that's something that is very, very important and very key to the administration. So we've looked at that, and we're also ensuring that a lot of other social protection issues are being addressed. So you notice that we've gone from themes to themes plus. The whole idea of themes plus was that to say, look, once we acknowledge the pillars and themes, to say this is what we need to do, the plus also takes into account that, you know, we then have to do a lot more social protection, youth empowerment, youth employment, you know, getting the youth into our system, and then gender inequality as well. So the plus is encompassing and making sure no one is more or less left behind. So again, you know, some other issues as I talked about in terms of the journey so far. We've prioritized existing and front-loaded existing projects, so some stadiums, scripts, we've done fire equipment, we've upgraded our emergency response system. So, we're very proud of what we have in Lagos in terms of our emergency response system. It's not easy to be able to cater for over 20 million Lagosians, but then we've tried as much as possible to ensure that we have a functioning emergency response system which works. We have numbers you dial if you have an emergency, and we're constantly upscaling that and making sure we can provide the right sort of services for our citizens. As I said, food security, we've touched on that. Technology, we're currently going around the Smart City initiative where we have in the state now where we're gridding the whole of the state with fiber. So once what that does for us is also ensure that we're upgrading our technology. It also ensures that, public services, our hospitals can talk to themselves, Also, security is also enhanced by that because you have a security layer that can sit on the fiber that you have. You have CCTVs, it helps our transportation. So there's a wide range of things we've invested in, which we believe would help. We've done close to, I believe, 3,000 kilometers of fiber around the whole of Lagos, and we're continuously working on that and hoping that we should be able to sort of have the whole of Lagos wired by the end of the administration. So, again, these are just some other points, as I said, we've touched on. Food security, I said, other things, it's not exhaustive, but, we're happy to sort of talk about a lot more of the projects when we have our discussions and we look at things in detail. So I think for 2023, the budget of continuity, we just need to give an account of, where we are now. We're going through our mid-year review. So we've aggressively developed and upgraded our infrastructure. We're constantly trying to ensure that our infrastructure meets the demands of our citizens and our people. We've tried as much as possible for creating employment. We have the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. We've tried to ensure that we can sort of reach out to our people in terms of small, soft loans, medium enterprise. We've tried as much as possible to reach as many people as we can. It's constantly growing. We're constantly trying to do more. So it's an initiative we've started, and LSCTF is there to help. So we're open, we're listening, we're responsive, and as much as possible, we try and upscale and build on that. I talked about technology, which we talked about in terms of fiber. In terms of investments, we are very fortunate in Lagos where, we're rated at the same level as a sovereign. So, when you ask me sometimes, I believe, we should be able to be rated higher than a sovereign, but it hasn't happened yet, and let's see if it does happen. But for us, we have a good investment climate. And one thing I would say to that is that, what helps investment only stays where it feels it's secure. And that goes to the testament of saying, look, in Lagos, we have, one of the good things in Lagos is that we have fantastic resources, we have fantastic people in Lagos. But having said so, what we have that is better is we have fantastic institutions. So you find that irrespective of who is there, the institution works. The institution can carry on and continue. So investors get confidence in that, to knowing that, look, irrespective of who comes, the institution works, sanctity of agreements are there and are kept. So I think for that, we've managed to sort of keep our investors, and investment climate has done quite well. So having said so, another thing, these are just some economic highlights. Now, for us, whilst we are sub-national, we are also issues that affect the national affect us. So, budgeting and all whatnot, we have to take into cognizance what is going on around us, our macroeconomic indicators, and also what happens in the country as a whole. So, that takes into account how we look at things and how we also respond. So, these are just some highlights, which we've looked at. We know that, obviously, we all know the effects of the removal of subsidy, and then also the effects of the exchange rate we've had. So, what we budgeted for at a certain exchange rate now, it's different. So we all had to adjust. But, having said so, I think we've done relatively okay in terms of being able to manage the shocks within Lagos, and which is why we try as much as possible to be responsive to ensure that no one can predict what is going to happen. We couldn't predict COVID, we couldn't predict a lot of things, but then we've been resilient enough to be able to cushion and get things to continue to move and continue to work. So these are just some of our budget performance indicators. You know, I think what this speaks to is to the fact that measurements and we constantly review. So this gives us an idea of where we are throughout the year, what we've done, some of our numbers. Where we find that we're lagging in a certain areas, we go back, we sit back, we try and look at it. So these are just some of the numbers we have. It gives you an idea of what we budgeted for 2023, what we've done, our actual and our estimates. And so this is just sort of give you an idea. We're happy to sort of go through this in greater detail later on with anyone who wants to look at it. So again, these are some more numbers. If we move on to, so again, you know, for 2024, so what it is we look at is we then start this consultations, look at it, and we're now in the process of building our budget and our estimates for 2024. So we look at as I said earlier, we look at what's going on, look at the macroeconomic indicators and the position of where we are. We know that we expect that for next year, for instance, you know, we expect that the GDP is projected to grow in real terms, you know, from where it was in 21.04% in 2023, which from 19% in 2022. Then we expect that it decelerates in 2024. You know, I mean, these are all indicators that we look at which help us plan and help us factor into our numbers. So again, these are indicators and growth forecasts we look at, and you know, we have I must say that we have I'm recently new in economic planning and budget, but what I've realized is that we have a fantastic team, we have a fantastic unit that actually looks at this for us and can help us and tell us. And you know, oftentimes people maybe don't, you look at the public sector, you look at the private sector, you think, you know, but I must state that we have fantastic talent within Lagos State that has helped us to try and make sure that we're always on top of our game and we know what we're doing. So just to say thank you to them as well. And they didn't force me to say it, just like So again, some more of our numbers. Now these are just, I know, you know, sometimes we come to forums like this, we have all these presentations, their numbers, you know, it gets a bit convoluted sometimes and confusing, but just basically, it's just, you know, we look at how we budget and how we do things, so we need to go through all these numbers, you know. We look at our CAGR, which is the consolidated annual growth rate, where we're growing gradually, which is good. So all the indicators and all the indices are positive, and they show that we're going in the right direction. So for us, it's also important to constantly track these indices, so we know that we're not sort of caught away, and that we can also plan. So that's all these are trying to sort of show us. So I'll quickly go to the next couple of slides, which speak to the indicative 2024 MTBF. So that is based on, before I go to this, based on, we have, planning is very important, as I said. So over the years in Lagos, we keep building on successive plans. So right now we have a development plan, you know, which is the Lagos State Development LSDP Plan 2020-2052. So now currently we're in the second phase of this plan. So what this plan does to us, you know, sometimes you ask that, can you really plan that far ahead? I think it's important to be able to say, yes, you try, and then you know that what you do is that at any point in time, the plan is such that it can be adjusted and can, you know, one that can cope with shocks or cope with whatever is going on. So we have this plan, and this plan covers a wide range of what you can possibly think of, everything you can. It was a very, very robust plan where there's a lot of consultation. So we've tried as much as possible to put as much as we can into this development plan. Now, at this point in time, you know, we're currently, for the second phase of the plan, you know, there are currently about 447 initiatives which range across a wide range of spectrum of healthcare, infrastructure, waste management, you know, everything, it's all there. So we've looked at it, and then we've decided that, fine, these initiatives, we need to try and pick them out and try and focus on them. So we have, for the next 3-4, this is 447, but for the next 3-4 years, we're trying to look at maybe 27 to 30 of these initiatives. So we're currently going through them to say, drill down to basics and say, these are the ones we need to look at, and we need to sort of pay attention to. So again, you know, in looking at the budgeting for 2024, you know, as I said, we need to look at various things. We need to look at our revenue forecast and look at what it is we were blessed in Lagos, where we've been able to sort of have a robust revenue generation within our internally. But we also know that once we also get receipts from federal government, that doesn't form the large part of what it is we do. But I think what helps us is the fact that we have an investment climate that is positive, so we can also look for alternative ways of financing a few of our projects where we don't have to lump everything onto our balance sheet. So it helped us a lot to be able to balance things out, and we found that you know, our capital receipts are healthy. You know, we have a lot of interest when it comes to donor and international grants that want to come and look at and help us and support us. So we're happy, we're fortunate, and we're sort of blessed in Lagos. And you know, we just ensure that we look at these numbers and continuously try as much as possible to optimize them. One of the things we try to ensure is that you know, when you're coming to invest, you know, we have a huge population in Nigeria. Majority of the population, huge parts of it is a youthful population. So we're blessed in that sense as well. So we need to ensure that we can tap into that, which is why one of the things that, you know, I'm very excited about is the fact that the themes is now a themes plus agenda. So youth involvement is very, very key. If you look at it over the last couple of months or so, we've gone through our process of a new cabinet being set up. We have a lot of younger people who are within the SFS. The SA here I may look like he may not look like a youth, but he is a youth, you know, extremely brilliant. So we have people who have come into government. We have commissioners who are below the sub 40 age. You know, we have even in the federal. So we found that, you know, that is just what it is. It is what it is. You know, we find that sometimes we go to these meetings and I sit down and sit across people who are, you know, the 30s, 40s, and they're very brilliant. They know what they're doing. So, you know, we've recognized that, and I think it just shows us that that's the trajectory in which we're going. So, having said so, you know, these are just, again, some more numbers. So, I think, you know, without wanting to make it as technical as possible, I think I said the idea is for us to have a discussion to understand what it is you want. For us to look at it now. As with everything, we may not be able to sort of do everything, but at least I think it's important for us to understand and to know each area and each division has its peculiarities and has its needs. You know, so we need to be able to sort of drill down and identify those needs and understand, so we can best respond to it. So. I mean, this is just in conclusion to say that we're committed to ensuring that it's an inclusive government. The participation is from bottom up. So as I said, we need to understand what it is from the grassroots and take all the way up, so we can sort of budget and plan for these events. So I think that's it. I think what we'll do is we have some pictures of some slides which we'll just show to say, I mean, this is the blue line. You know, in Marina, a lot of people, you know, this is something that gives us a lot of pride, because, you know, you'd see it and, you know, you can't, as much as possible, the only way to sort of prove is to show and to do. So I think finally we have a functioning rail system. I know it's something that we're very proud of. And I think once the red line comes on stream this year as well, for a city like Lagos, this is what we need to have. We can't say we're a mega city and a 21st century economy and not have functioning rail lines. So these are some of the iconic stations. These are some of the stations. This is the newly installed, that last one, the 5 carries terminal. So again, you know, the waterway is something that, you know, we're trying to sort of ramp up and trying to build. Lagos is surrounded by water, so we need to ensure that we can sort of utilize our waterways. But with that, we know that, you know, the key to that is we need to have a safe system and a fully functioning system. So we've invested heavily over the last couple of years in that, and we're happy to say that, you know, that is a sector that is growing. We're looking at, obviously, trying to go green. So we have electric buses we're incorporating now into the system. we find also with things like this, even for financing, you find that, once you go, a lot of finance, there's certain finance that only goes towards green type projects. So you find that, once you switch, you get a lot more better investments and financing that are looking to finance green projects. So this is something that we're also very proud of, the J. Rando Center for Yoruba Center, Arts and Culture. So it's just down the road from us, across the road from us. It's something that, has taken some time. It's finished. It's a beautiful structure. It's something that we need to ensure that we sort of build from. We have people who come into, build on our, we oftentimes go to certain places, and when we go there, you go to, say, the Eiffel Tower or wherever you're going to visit. So this is something that I believe, would attract a lot of tourism, a lot of investment, and will showcase what it is we've done. We've healthcare, very important. We've redeveloped and upgraded a few of our healthcare facilities. This is one in Saleko, which we've done. We're continuously trying to ensure that, we can keep up to date and make sure we have a 21st century healthcare system. Schools are very important. So these are some schools, where we're going through a process of trying to upgrade and make all our schools, 21st century type schools. So sports facilities, functioning tennis courts and gyms and all whatnot are quite important. This is also ensuring that we can support our Greek sector, our farmers, and ensure that, we have a huge informal sector, so the informal sector, we need to also ensure that we can carry them along and we can tap into the multiplier effects of having the boisterous and, fully functioning informal sector. So as much as possible, we do a lot of empowerment and a lot of, we were just talking about this in the office yesterday, saying that, social protection is key, and we need to ensure that we can ramp up what it is we're doing for our people in terms of social protection. This is the typical, when people think of infrastructure, this is what we think of. We think of the brick and mortars, the bridges, as I said earlier, it's what we have to do. We can't build ourselves out of congestion or build ourselves out of what it is how we are in terms of numbers we have. But however, it is something that we know, and we're continuously trying to upgrade the road network and all our systems. So this is the construction of some of the roads we're doing. This is in our Papa local government area. So there are quite a few of the projects. They're not all. We couldn't bring everything here. This is some tractors from Ministry of Greek Empowerment. We couldn't bring everything. We just chose a few to say, we wanted to talk about. This is the emergency response, the fire services, which we talked about as well. This is Lagos Homes in Shangotebu. So there's a wide range of projects, and it's not by any means an exhaustive list, but it's just to give you a flavor of what it is we've tried to do. So as I said, we're hoping as much as possible to make this as interactive and as consultative as possible. We look forward to hearing from you, hearing your ideas, what it is you want us to do for you, and what you want us to do better. And just to say thank you very much for taking the time to listen to me this morning, and hopefully we should be able to hopefully address your needs. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I think Oga deserves another applause, please. Before my sister will come again, I must respectfully recognize His Royal Highness Alailuwa Oba Abdul Wasiu Omogbola Lawal Abisegun II, the Oniru of Iro Kingdom, well represented here today by our father, Prince Olarewaju Ajasa. We want to thank you, our father. Thank you so much for the honor. So again, my sister, thank you.
Boki Bobole lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Èyí ni ìgékúrú àgbékalẹ̀ kọmíṣánná lẹ́ka iléeṣẹ́ ọba tó ń rí sí ètò ọrọ̀ ajé àti ìṣúná nípìnlẹ̀ Èkó, Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Ọpẹ́ George, níbi ìpàdé àpérò gbogbogbò tí à ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Ṣáájú, kọmíṣánná kí gbogbo wa káàbọ̀ síbi àpérò yìí bíi ti ìṣáájú. Ní pàtàkì jùlọ, wọ́n júbà gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọba aláyélúwà tó gún wá síkàlẹ̀, ẹ̀yin olóyè àti gbogbo ilé lápapọ̀. Wọ́n tẹ̀síwájú pé ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìṣe rẹ̀ tún ti gùnlé ìpalẹ̀mọ́ ètò ìṣúná ọlọ́dọọdún ti 2024 pẹ̀lú èròǹgbà láti ṣàgbékalẹ̀ ètò ìṣúná tó múnádóko. Ṣé gbogbo wa náà la mọ̀ pé àgàn ni ètò àpérò yìí kò ṣeé dágbé? Èyí ló mú kí ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ṣàgbékalẹ̀ rẹ̀ jákèjádò àwọn ẹkùn márààrún tí ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó pín sí. Lẹ́yìn èyí, kọmíṣánná yànnàná àwọn ipò aṣíwájú ọlọ́kan òjọ̀kan tí ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ti pegedé fi gbọ̀rọ̀ jẹ kàdílẹ̀ adúláwọ̀ àti ní gbogbo àgbáyé lápapọ̀ nípa ètò ọrọ̀ ajé rẹ̀ tó rú gọ́gọ́ tó sì tún ní kìmí. Nípa ṣíṣe ìgbéléwọ̀n àwọn ètò ìṣúná ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó láti 2021 sí 2023 tí a wà yìí. Àbájáde yìí tí ó fi hàn gbangba pé òkè ní ẹmu ìdàgbàsókè ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ń ru sí nípa ṣíṣe àgbékalẹ̀ ètò ọrọ̀ ajé tó kún àkúyawọ́ lórí ìpèsè oúnjẹ lọ́pọ̀ yanturu, ìpèsè iṣẹ́, títẹ̀síwájú nínú ìpèsè àwọn ohun amáyédẹrùn ìgbàlódé ní pàtàkì jùlọ lẹ́ka ìrìnnà, ètò ìrónilágbára àwọn ọ̀dọ́, ìpèsè ètò ẹ̀kọ́ àti ètò ìlera ìgbàlódé tó tẹ̀wọ̀n lówó tí kò gani lára, pípèsè àǹfààní ìfẹ̀gbẹ́kẹ̀gbẹ́ láàrin takọtabo àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ ní ìbámu pẹ̀lú àwọn òpó atọ́nà ìdàgbàsókè themes aláfikún èyí tí ìjọba tó wà lórí àlééfà báyìí yàn láàyò láti fi ṣe ọ̀pákùtẹ̀lẹ̀ àwọn ètò ìlọsíwájú rẹ̀. Lẹ́yìn èyí, wọ́n tún ṣàlàyé àwọn kùdìẹ̀kudiẹ kọ̀ọ̀kan tó ń dúnkokò mọ́ ètò ọrọ̀ ajé látàrí ìyọkúrò owó ìrànwọ́ epo bẹntiró, ọ̀wọ́n gógó ọjà, ìfìdírẹmi owó náírà àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Síbẹ̀ nínú gbogbo ọ̀fìn àti ọ̀la yìí ni ọmọ pàǹdọ̀rọ̀ ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ti ń ṣara bọ̀rọ̀bọ̀rọ̀. Kọmíṣánná tún ṣiṣọ́ lójú àwọn ojúṣe ribiribi tó sì sódò ikùn ìjọba láti fi túbọ̀ mú ìdàgbàsókè tó lóòrìn bá ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó nínú ètò ìṣúná ọdún yìí nítorí ó kù ìbọn ró. Díẹ̀ lára àwọn ojúṣe wọ̀nyí ni ṣíṣe àtúnṣe ìkópa àjọṣe àti ìfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ àwọn ará ìlú nínú ètò ìṣàkóso ìjọba, mímú ìdàgbàsókè tó fẹsẹ̀ nílẹ̀ bá ètò ẹ̀kọ́, ètò ìlera àti agbègbè, ṣíṣe àmúlò àwọn ìlànà ìgbàlódé lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ ọba, mímú àyípadà ọ̀tun bá ìlànà ìpawó wọlé sápò ìjọba tí kò ní kọ́lọ́fín, fífa ojú àwọn olùdókòwò aládàáni mọ́ra fún ìbáṣepọ̀ okòòwò tó dáńtọ́ pẹ̀lú ìpèsè agbègbè olókoòwò tó máa mú ajé wá, fífi àyè gba ìkópa àti ìrólágbára àwọn ọ̀dọ́ àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Wọ́n kí ọ̀ràn wọn lẹ́yìn nípa fífi àwọn àtẹ àti òpó ìdóṣùwọ̀n ṣàlàyé àwọn ìsọ̀rí pàtàkì tí ètò ìṣúná ọdún yìí pín sí, ìdá tí ọ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan wọn kó nínú ìdá 100 àti iye ẹgbẹ̀lẹ́mùkú owó náírà tí ọ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan wọn gbà nínú ètò ìṣúná náà. Ṣé àríṣe láríkà? Èyí ló mú kí kọmíṣánná túnṣu désàlẹ̀ kòkò lórí àwọn àkànṣe iṣẹ́ tí ìṣàkóso gómìnà Sanwó-Olú ti gbé ṣe, èyí tí wọ́n ń ṣe lọ́wọ́ àti àwọn tí wọn yóò tún tẹ̀síwájú lórí rẹ̀. Díẹ̀ lára àwọn àkànṣe iṣẹ́ wọ̀nyí ni ṣíṣe aṣọ lójú ọkọ̀ ojú irin ìgbàlódé aláwọ̀ aró lágbègbè Marina látọwọ́ gómìnà àti igbákejì gómìnà, ṣíṣí ibùdókọ̀ ọkọ̀ ojú irin ìgbàlódé lágbègbè Ìkẹjà, Agége àti National Theatre, iṣẹ́ òpópónà àti ibùdókọ̀ ọkọ̀ ojú irin ìgbàlódé akérò aláwọ̀ pupa tó ń lọ lọ́wọ́, ìpèsè oríkò ìgbàlódé tuntun tó ń ṣàmójútó àwọn ìrìnnà orí omi lẹ́ka iléeṣẹ́ ọba ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó tó ń rí sí ìgbòkègbodò ojúdò lébùté olówó ẹyọ 5, ìfilọ́lẹ̀ abala àkọ́kọ́ àwọn ọkọ̀ akérò bọ̀gìnì ìgbàlódé tó ń lo iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná, kíkọ́ oríkò àṣà àti ti ìtàn ìṣẹ̀dálẹ̀ Yorùbá ajérandu tó wà lágbègbè Oníkan, àtúnkọ́ àti ìgbéga àwọn ilé ìwòsàn kéréje tẹ́lẹ̀ rí tó wà ní Gàìdúgọ̀ràn nísàlẹ̀ Èkó àti èyí tó wà lágbègbè ìwọ̀ oòrùn erékùṣù Èkó ní Sùrá, àtúnkọ́ àti ìpèsè àwọn ohun èlò ìkẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ìgbàlódé àti ti eré ìdárayá sí àyíká tó wuyì nílé ẹ̀kọ́ girama kékeré Òkè Àdó tó wà lágbègbè Èbúté Mẹ́ta, ṣíṣe ìpèsè àwọn ohun èlò ìrànwọ́ ìmúṣiṣẹ́ bíi ẹ̀rọ amúǹkandì tó jinú, ẹ̀rọ agbọ́n ẹ̀rọ̀fọ̀dànù, ẹ̀rọ ìlọta, ẹ̀rọ amúnáwá àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ fún àwọn tó yan iṣẹ́ àgbẹ̀ láàyò, iṣẹ́ òpópónà lágbègbè Lẹ́kì níjọba ìbílẹ̀ Etí Ọ̀sà àti òpópónà Fádáìní níjọba ìbílẹ̀ Àpápá, ìpèsè àwọn ọkọ̀ katakata ìgbàlódé sí ẹ̀ka iléeṣẹ́ ọba tó ń rí sí ètò ọ̀gbìn nípínlẹ̀ Èkó, ìpèsè àwọn ọkọ̀ panápaná ayárabíàṣá ìgbàlódé 62, kíkọ́ àwọn ilégbèé alájà 3 ìgbàlódé tí owó rẹ̀ rọjú sí abala ti agbègbè Ṣàngótẹ̀dó àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ gẹ́gẹ́ bí a ti ṣe àfihàn wọn lórí àwọn ẹ̀rọ amóhùnmáwòrán tó wà níwájú wa. Lákòótán, wọ́n rawọ́ ẹ̀bẹ̀ sí gbogbo olùgbé ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó láti dákun dábọ̀ máa san owó orí wa déédé sápò ìjọba kíjọba bá lè romi bùlámù ṣe àwọn ojúṣe rẹ̀. Wọ́n ní ìjọba náà mọ̀ pé àwọn kò fi bẹ́ẹ̀ ka ojú ìlú lásìkò tí a wà yìí látàrí ìyọkúrò owó ìrànwọ́ epo bẹntiró, ṣùgbọ́n wọ́n ṣèlérí pé ìjọba ti pinnu láti má ṣe dá àwọn ará ìlú dá bùkátà wa. Ìdí nìyí tí ìjọba fi gbé àwọn ìgbésẹ̀ amáyédẹrùn lẹ́ka ètò ìrìnnà àti ẹ̀ka ètò ìlera. wọ́n rọ̀ kó wá láti fi èròǹgbà wa lórí ètò ìṣúná àti àwọn tó jẹ wá lógún fún ọdún tó ń bọ̀ ṣọwọ́ sí ìjọba. Ẹ ṣeun púpọ̀, a kú àpérò ìgbéga ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, àjùmọ̀ṣe gbogbo wa ni.
Kábíyèsí lẹ́ẹ̀ try mo jí sọ ni o wọ́n sọ Yorùbá ń sìn ẹ̀ wá interpret o English nìkan lè interpret ni wàhálà wà o. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is the peak of the point why we are here. But I must say this, don't mind my boss. Oga said he's new in budget. But I know Oga is not new in budget. Oga has been in government since when government is government in Lagos. When you look at a man who at one time he was SSA to the Government on Economic Matters. At another time he was the DG, Special Advisor, Office of Public-Private Partnership. He was the former Deputy Managing Director of Lekki Worldwide Investment Limited, the Lekki Free Trade Zone, and only one call. You know, when you look at his profile, his pedigree is outstanding. So Oga has been in government, and Oga knows government. So Oga is part of government. So, distinguished guests, I know that I am supposed to call on to the Director of Lagos Bureau of Statistics, Omoeko Pataki, Mr. Temitayo, Bashir Temitayo Oseniokwe. He will break us into thematic groups for the thematic session, where we will connect with the team's agenda, whichever area you want to key into, you know, traffic management and transportation, health and environment, education and technology, making Lagos a 21st century economy. We are looking at entertainment as well, you know, tourism and all that, security, good governance, and of course the inclusivity of this team's agenda this time, social concern, employment, youth concern. So Oga, if you're ready, sir, may I ask you to join us to take over the microphone, and let's do what we should do. Please, can we put our hands together for you?
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sirs. Once again, my name is Bashir Temitayo Oseniokwe, Director of Lagos Bureau of Statistics. I'm here to coordinate the pillars where we are going to break into sessions or thematic groups of interest. And we are having here from the stage, on my left side, we have education and technology. Education and technology. Nípa ètò ẹ̀kọ́ àti nípa ayélujára àti nǹkan ìgbàlódé. On my right side, we have here entertainment and tourism. Entertainment and tourism. You know the Nollywoods, you know the musicians and all those kind of, and those attractive, you know, centers, locations, you know, center of attractions that bring about, you know, tourism for Lagos, where you expect visitors, and all encompassing must be provided to make, you know, a conducive environment, particularly the security. You know, we have here the next pillar there is health and environment. Ètò ìlera àti nípa agbègbè tó dá tó nímọ̀ tó tó, health and environment. You know, health, environment, they are key issues. And if you understand that we have challenge of climate change, you know, all over the world, inclusive of Lagos, flooding and all those kind of stuff. At the extreme right, I have traffic management and transportation. Traffic management and transportation is about the nípa ìgbòdògbòdò ọkọ̀ àti nípa ètò bí ọkọ̀ ṣe ń rìn. And we are talking of the integrated multimodal transportation system with the, our amiable non-honorable commission had mentioned earlier about the land, about the air, about the train, about the water. So in Lagos, we have a multimodal which they use cowrie for. You use cowrie for BRT, you use the same cowrie for train, and you also use the cowrie for waterways. Then the second one at the center, we are making Lagos a 21st century economy. If you get to Idumota here in the night, you see businesses are going, securities are there, and you transact your business without fear of anything. So we want Lagos to look like Dubai and all these international centers all over the world. And lastly, which is also very important, security, governance, and finance. Ìdáàbòbò, ẹni ibikíbi téèyàn bá wà tí ó bá sí ìdáàbòbò, àwọn èèyàn ò ní lè dúró bẹ́ẹ̀. Security attracts investment, and it will go, everything all-encompassing about data. So we are talking of security, governance, not just governance, good governance, and finance. So at this point, I will advise the participants here attending this forum to break into the thematic groups or sessions or pillars of interest, which depends. If you have any challenge, please, you can kindly contact me. So we have the names of the team lead of each group. We have the traffic management and transportation, Mr. Orojimi and Mrs. Zainab Azan. We have Ogbenusi and Mr. Kamal for health and environment. We have Ms. Akisoya, Buki Akisoya and Mrs. Adamson for education and technology. Ms. Olowonishaye Said and Mr. Olumide Ajao, they are for making Lagos a 21st century economy. And we have Mrs. Abdullahi and Mr. Barua Basit for entertainment and tourism. And lastly, Mr. Lawal and Mr. Omolare for security, governance, and finance. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly break into the thematic pillars of interest where you will request the government all those things you feel. And in making the request, once you mention the request, mention location alone so that we will know at Ebutemeta, at Idumota, at wherever you wish. Thank you very much and God bless. Our Kabiyesi's, the Royal Majesties, will be seated where you are, and our chiefs, our white cap chiefs will also be there. Officers, directors will come and meet you where you are sitting to collect your interest. Thank you very much, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us try to break into sessions. The head of each team lead, they are waiting for you to come and state, to come and mention, to come and declare your interest where you want government to carry out interventions. So, without wasting much of our time, thank you very much and God bless. Wọ́n sọ pé kí a sọ Yorùbá, ọmọ Yorùbá dẹ̀ ni mí, ọmọ Láìgbàdé mọ̀lá òkè. So wọ́n sọ pé ká sọ Yorùbá. Wọ́n sọ pé nǹkan tá a fẹ́ yẹ ká ṣe nísìn tí mò ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ ni pé kí a lọ síbi tí a ti dárúkọ wọ̀nyẹn láti lè sọ nǹkan tí ẹ fẹ́ jẹ́ kí ìjọba ṣe fún yín sí àdúgbò yín, sí agbègbè yín, nípa àwọn nǹkan tá a ti kọ sílẹ̀ pé àwọn session yìí o, àwọn area yìí o, àwọn group yìí o, àwọn nǹkan tá a fẹ́ kí ìjọba ṣe fún wa nìwọ̀nyí ẹ máa sọ nǹkan yẹn ẹ máa sọ ibo lẹ fẹ́ jẹ́ kí wọ́n ṣe sí àti àwọn nǹkan wo ẹ ti fẹ́ jẹ́ kí wọ́n ṣe fún àwọn wo náà àtẹ́ǹtì kábíyèsí ẹ̀yin bàbá olóyè. Build the nation, build the youth. Yes, the youth. We have created this space in front here, this area, for the youth, for the gender equality, and for and for the last one, so social protection. Social protection, those that have interest in youth, social protection, and gender equality. Those are the things plus. Those are the thematic areas that made up the things plus. So this frontage should be for social protection, the youth, and the gender equality. Please, you can come and take over the front. No, don't worry, we will provide that. The officer in charge will come and join you. Please.
Let you sit down here, please. These 2 rows. Olajide, whatever you are doing here, suspend it. I want to hear now. I want to hear now. So the youth, those who are trying the social protection, is social inclusion, gender equality, please. So we are assigning somebody to you now. Get me one officer to come and attend to this group. Who is going to attend to them? Yeah, please come and attend to them. So they are here. So they are youth, social inclusion, gender, social protection. So they will tell you the answer. How are you, sir? representing the youth? Hello. Are you representing the youth of this stand? Yeah. If you're representing the youth, come here. The youth are making their case known here, so don't just sit down there, please. Come here and make your case known. If you are representing the youth, this is where they are attending to the youth, please. You go back to your seat after you are finished, but come on. You go back to your seat after you are finished with them. You come and tell them what you want them to, what the whole government to do for you now. So please, just come forward, man. You have seats here. Youth, just come. Don't worry, just come forward. Let the youth come here. Let the youth come here. The youth come here. Come here, please. The youth, come here. There are space here so that you can. We want to hear your voice also. Yeah, thank you. We want to hear you speaking also. Maybe we older ones, we are living in state gradually now, so we want to take over. Whatever interest that you have, we have created portions for you to hear your interest. Tó bá jẹ́ pé níbi ọ̀rọ̀ education ni tàbí technology, please go to this place. They are attending to you there. Go and, okay, they are here already. Then for those of you who love entertainment, who love tourism, that is the portion. For those of you, probably you love Nollywood, you are a musician, and you love something like tourism, that is your portion. Then if you are talking about traffic management, that's road management especially, then, okay. Traffic management and transportation in Lagos State, probably you want us to build more railway lines to your area and all that kind of a thing, or maybe you want other things that leads to transportation and traffic management, you can please go to that portion there. Health and technology. For security, governance, and finance, it is that portion at the back there. Probably there are some people who are disturbing you at your end. And if it has been occurring all the time, then please go and state your case there and what you want us to do for you in that area of security and governance. Tó wá jẹ́ pé nípa ọrọ̀ ajé ló fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀, making Lagos 21st century economy, nípa ọrọ̀ ajé ló fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀. Ṣé wọ́n pé Èkó ìlú ajé l'Èkó. So that is the place. Those are the people raising up their hands. If you are a businessman, you are a businesswoman, you want to talk about making Lagos a 21st century economy, or you want to talk about the economy, that's those guys raising up their hands. Okay, if you are talking about housing also, housing falls under making Lagos a 21st century economy also. So if you want to talk about the investment by Lagos, I want to understand, you can go there and tell them about your interests. you are online and you want to send in your own expression of interest, maybe interested areas, or you want to ask any questions, if you're online, please, on the screen, you will see the link there. There is a link on the screen that on your screen, you can send it through that link. We will receive it at this end and we will attend to it immediately. So if you are online, you can look at that screen. There is a link there. On that link, just post whatever you want to post to us. We will receive it here and we'll respond to it immediately. Thank you.
minutes to go.
photographer should please come to the front stage.
where is Craig, please? Craig.
All right, we want to thank each and every one of us. And of course, what is next for us to do is to present our presentations to the youth are already presented. I recognize Margaret Chichi of leading. All right, we're having it's breaking. All right, we have now the youth presentation, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Commissioner, I must say a big congratulations to you once again. Yeah, we are doing this presentation again. I use the word again because this same proposal, we brought it here last year on behalf of the Lagos Division Youth. But unfortunately, nothing was done on this, and I must emphasize that nothing, because when we draw a proposal of such, we monitor it, and nothing is done. And that is why we are coming again, because this proposal is jamming. Because I'm very sure if something is done about it, most of the things we are seeing in our society today would have been dealt with, because a lot about drug abuse was mentioned here. And whatever we see in our society today is as a result of the menace that is left untouched. So, Honorable Commissioner, sir, I will really appreciate if this document is actually dealt with. Because, you see, the issue of drug abuse goes beyond the society. It's a grassroots thing. It needs to start from the local government. And if you look at the local government very well, you'll realize that even the Department of Youth is not on its own. It has to lobby under Agri. And the Department of Agri is sure for it. They have Agri, Youth, Sport, and Social Development under the local government. It is time for Lagos State to put youth out. Let's stand on its own at the local government. Let's start from there. Let the youth have their own department. Let the youth department as a counselor that any youth that is frustrated in this state can walk up to and say their mind. Most of our youth, they've lost interest in their parents. Parenting has failed, and that's the truth. So when they need a neutral person they can open up to, they can approach and talk to about what they are going through. And all these things, because our parenting has failed, it is giving them this logical thinking to go into cultism. When they get into the cultism, they introduce them to drug. Because most of them, once they are self-esteem, they use the drug to want to boost their self-esteem. And this thing is affecting us seriously. We are losing a lot of youth to drug abuse in this state. Losing a lot of youth. Go to Sulere. I mean, Akala is a case study. Akala is a place that even the state needs to go there and bombard it. Because a lot of youth are losing out there. Where I come from, Sulere, Medube is another example in Shita. Seriously, we know all these places, and I'm sure the security personnel, they know. But I don't know why they don't want to post all these places. They need to do something about these places. Because this thing is really affecting our youth. And that is the truth. It's only those that are speaking out, we can hear a lot are dying in silence. A lot, they are dying in silence. Please, Honorable Sir, you need to take this so that something will be done. And I'm happy that the state government are. Honorable Sir, we need to look into it. One of the things we also need to look at is youth centers. Youth center is a facility. If the youth cannot come to the local government to discuss, they can easily walk into the youth center and approach any youth officer there, where they will get solutions to most of their problems. But the truth of the matter is, most of our youth centers in our local government are not even functioning. They are not functioning at all. It's just our local government. They don't even have any youth center. Apapa does not have youth center. Surulere that have youth center, it's not functioning. Lagos Island is not functioning. Mainland is not functioning. So what is the youth center for? These are places our youth needs to be walking into, getting everything they need, psychology and mentality, so that it will be dealt with. But unfortunately, we are not getting it. Seriously, we are not getting it. So a lot of our youth are frustrated already. And the economy of the country is even adding to it. Please, Honorable Commissioner, look into this. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Well said.
Yeah, we have the acknowledgement copy that the Commissioner needs to, because that's what we use to monitor our documents.
Okay. Thank you very much. You see, so I think I like the fact that monitoring is key. So, you know, what I'll say is that I wouldn't say that nothing has been done. You know, it's a huge city, it's a big city, 28 plus million people. So you'd find that even if things have been done, they've been done in various other areas where maybe what we'll say is that it has not been centralized enough, or we cannot track it centrally enough. Which is why, you know, having understood that, we then decided to say, okay, fine, Mr. Governor has looked at it and said, okay, it's now a Teams Plus. So, you know, from the last 4 years, we've learned added Teams Plus. So that means that, you know, the parts where we've missed, we can now grab on that, you know, social protection, including the youth, gender equality, and all that. So, which is what the Plus is meant to do. And I think in doing that as well, you'd find that right now, we also have the Honorable Commissioner for Youth now. I'm sure someone you know is so you have a voice where you can go to and you can speak to, you know, and he would understand, he would be able to sort of help. So I think in saying that, I'll go back and say, you know, so from what you said last time, we've learned, we've taken it into account, and we've started taking steps to, you know, incorporate it, you know. So we will get better, we'll try as much as possible, and we'll take this document back and we'll look at it. And there's an open door policy, so, you know, keep in touch, make sure, you know, when I get back, I will speak with him as well and let him know. You know, I'm sure someone you know, yeah, so I'll go back and speak with him. Exactly. So you have the right access. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Civil Society Group, are you ready for your presentation? The Civil Society Group, please. Civil Society Group, please.
The Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget, Mr. Moshopefuluwa Church, and our royal fathers and elders, standing on all other existing protocol. We are the member of the Lagos Civil Society Participation for Development, and my name is Margaret Chichinkiri, founder of Leading Africa and member of LACSOP. So together with me here are members of LACSOP. Just before we give our acts, I would like to specially introduce our founder, who has been a pioneer encouragement to LACSOP in person of Madam Yemisi Ransom